Hey everybody, welcome back to Mary Bird's Backyard Garden. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mary.
Hey Mary.
Hi, Jeff.
We have an exciting weekend coming up, Mary. Cold, snow, freezing rain. Now we don't know.
It is exciting.
We have a winter advisory for this weekend. And if you don't live in Texas, you're probably like, so what? And
yeah, you're probably
it's
so
like a huge deal, though. I'm pretty sure the city will close down Saturday and Sunday.
They probably should, because I'll tell you what, we don't know how to drive in this weather.
No, we don't. And I mean, we're staying in. We already stocked up on our food. We're all settled in. But yeah, it's supposed to be, our once a year cold streak, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Weekend.
This is about the right time of year for us.
It is. I mean, they said maybe freezing rain, maybe might see who knows, might see a snowflake or two.
A snowflake?
Crazy.
We don't know what those are.
But you know what, Mary? You know what you better do? You better get those plants in.
Well, I believe that there was a little helper called Jeff that did help me pull in all of our cold weather plants into the garage.
We got the plants.
We got them tucked away.
We do. Mm-hmm. They're all ready for the big weekend.
For the big weekend. Everybody here is getting ready for the big weekend.
I've already gotten the alerts on my phone. It's Wednesday, and they're already alerting about the weekend.
They are. Update.
It's an exciting time to be in Central Texas.
We got notifications about free faucet covers for the outside.
We did.
Hurry, run, get your faucet covers. We got notifications about getting freeze covers for your plants.
It's all out there, man.
It's all out there.
We're ready. We're ready for it.
The people here in our area ran out and started grabbing stuff.
They did.
They were out in the masses.
Hey, we were out in the masses. We did whatever we needed to do, we got taken care of. We
went to the bookstore and the plant store.
We did, and the grocery store.
Most important things.
Done. Well, with that in mind, Mary, let me jump into what's new in the garden.
What's new in the garden is we had a trip out, like we just said, to Hill Country Water Gardens. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I just love going to Hill Country Water Gardens. Just one of my favorite places in the world. And we were looking for new plants. It was a very nice day when we went out. And we did find a plant that we're going to talk about later on. And it was super enjoyable. I just love going there. I love to look at all their different plants and how they have them arranged.
Yeah, they do some pretty cool stuff. They have a lot of statuary.
They do.
They have
unique.
And, that one's unique because they also sell like all the koi fish for if you have a pond and stuff like that. It's kind of you don't see that everywhere.
No,
that's the only one I know of.
And
around here.
It is a big pond that you could sit beside. They let you feed the fish. And,
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool place.
Very nice. And you can find some unusual plant. That is where we went last year, and we got the mangavi.
Yes,
we discussed on one of our episodes. Mm-hmm. Now, that makes me think of this, is that when I selected that mangavi, I did not think it was winter hardy. But when we got over to their demonstration garden, while we were walking around, I noticed that they had it planted in ground. And that gives me a lot of courage that our mangavi is going to be fine during this cold snap.
Nice.
Because the problem was we went to move the mangavi and it was chock loaded with fire ants. And I did put some fire ant bait around it because it was overwhelmingly covered. But we did not move the mangavi.
They seem like going to those.
They love to go into containers and raised bed. So I think we're going to be okay with our mangavi being left out into the
I think so.
The little garden we have in the backyard.
I think it's going to be perfect.
Theirs is gorgeous, and it's a mangave that has red spots on it and also like a red stripe coming down the leaf. But ours is probably maybe a foot across now, but theirs is like almost, I would say it's 2.5 feet
it's
in
big.
width.
There's some cool stuff
So
over there.
beautiful.
There's some really, really neat things.
I know. And they're very approachable, which I definitely enjoy.
Yeah.
You had taken our plant to the car, and I decided on the spur of the moment to turn around and go back in and talk to the lady inside their gift shop. And she was very nice. And I was asking her a lot of questions about how they get their garden to look so beautiful. It always looks very beautiful. Anyways, she was telling me, come back when you could talk to one of our plant specialists. And so
nice.
I took her up on it. I'm going to take her up on it.
Okay. I like it. What else you got?
Well, we went running around and we came home later in the afternoon. We were probably back by, it was like 2:30 or 3, somewhere in there. And crazily enough, we heard this ka-chonk against the window in our little dining area. And again, we turned around and there was a ka-chonk. And the sky was kind of gray. It was a very gray afternoon. We had the lights turned on in the house and we were moving around. We were putting our groceries away, getting our stuff situated, right? And we kept hearing this ka-chonk against the window. And we both looked at each other and said, I think that's a bird, right? Sure enough, last podcast, we talked about the cardinal.
We did. We talked how sweet and wonderful little Cardi was.
Delightful the cardinal was, but also territorial.
They are territorial. We've now found out.
We have. Yeah, I was so surprised because he is sitting outside of our windows, and if he catches sight of us, he tries to fly through the window.
He does. And it's funny because he's followed Mary around the house to all the windows she goes to.
No. Isn't that's pretty amazing?
It is kind of crazy. He was going to the one, and then you went into a different room, and it did there, and then you went to another room, and he was over there.
And he flew over there. And we tried, Jeff and I thought, well, maybe he's seeing his reflection in the window. So this one window that he was specifically targeting, we don't have a cover over it, like a curtain or anything like that, because it's quite small. And we thought, well, let's try blocking it. So we got out some push pins and we hung up tea towels in the window. Well, he just traveled over to a different window.
He's still doing that one too. I think the key is you have to have something that's on the outside of the window. So we've ordered some of the, they have a name.
The window clings?
Clings, yeah, for anti-bird thing. I can't remember what they're called. But yes, we did order some window clings. So hopefully they'll be here later today. And then we'll put some of those up and see if that helps. But he's been all over that.
Very determined.
He was still downstairs hitting the one window down there. I mean, he's not like it's a territorial thing.
It is a territorial thing. Yeah, we thought perhaps he was looking for insects, and we inspected, but no, that was not the case.
No, he's seen his reflection. He has claimed our home.
But the funny part about it is Jeff and I lowered the blinds on all the windows that we could, so he couldn't see us moving around in the house. And he decided to fly off and go to another neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And we watched him.
It is kind of funny.
Investigating.
It's cool to see how they do that. But we've not had that issue before where they've done that.
No.
So he must be doing something in that tree that's on the side of the house.
I think he's chosen the tree as a place to raise his family.
I think so too.
And he was taking exception that we had a home here.
Yeah. We'll put
he's a cheeky little cardinal.
He is a cheeky little guy. We'll put some clings up later today, and we'll see how that goes.
We're going to see how that goes.
I think they'll work. I understand. From my understanding is they should work.
Good.
So
I'm happy about that.
we shall see.
We're going to check it out.
Absolutely.
Well, that was very exciting, to be honest with you. That has taken over our whole evening yesterday and our whole morning today.
Yeah, we're easily distracted,
I think you
aren't we?
actually went out with the pool noodles and you were going to wave
Yeah,
it at him.
we're ridiculous. Well, I was trying to figure out, can I put these up on because the window's kind of high.
Yes, the window is too high.
I was trying to figure out if there was some way
up
I could do something up there
with a ladder
and put them up
Yes.
there. We are very easily distracted, Mary.
Or entertained.
Entertained.
It could be entertained.
Yeah, distracted. We totally diverted ourselves to the cardinal.
Yes. And he's so gorgeous. I have to say, the whole time that we're trying to get him to leave the window alone, we're just sitting there with our eyes wide, admiring him. He's so beautiful.
He's cool.
But I haven't seen the mama cardinal fly in yet, so maybe he hasn't settled on a specific spot.
Who knows?
But that's what I have for what's new at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump right in to your first topic. What do you have for us?
The first topic. We walked all over Hill Country Water Garden. And one of the purposes that we went there to look for is that there's a section in our backyard that needs to have a little bit more of a screening type plant in it. Most of the plants are filling in quite nicely, but we do have a gap it looks uneven.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look super attractive. And so we went there to explore all the different offerings that they have. And we walked through and we enjoyed ourselves tremendously, but we ended up choosing a Brodie Juniper. And that's what I wanted to start out talking about today.
It's cool looking too.
We really don't have evergreens. We have evergreens in our garden. We have a Iliangus, which is called silverberry, and we have, actually the, I can't think what the sunshine ligustrum is usually evergreen for us. Wax myrtles, we have southern wax myrtles, but we don't have we have maybe one other planting of what you would typically call an evergreen, or what you might think of as a conifer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we made a choice to have one of those in along a fence row, along a fence bed. Anyways, we chose a plant called the Brodie Juniper, and its botanical name is Juniperus virginiana Brodie. The selection is Brodie, and it's beautiful. I think it's going to be very fast growing. I read that it could grow maybe 1 to 2 feet per year.
Wow.
Which is super
nice.
fast.
I like that. Yeah.
It's an evergreen conifer, and this Brodie is a cultivar of a native eastern red cedar. And so it grows in a columnar shape in its regular habit. It'll be tall, cylindrical with a bit of a point going to the top. And it's described as having a dark green foliage. But I think that in the springtime, as the foliage begins to come in, it has like a yellow-green coloration, especially along the tips of it. And then more, when it gets to be cold weather in the winter, it could have more of a gray-green cast to it. But ordinarily, I think it is just a very pretty dark green foliage.
Yeah, they are really nice looking. I like them.
Yeah. Well, also, Jeff was like, "Oh, Mary, I love these leaves because they're quite soft. They're not super prickly." And so that's also a contrasting texture that we don't have a lot of.
No, we don't actually. You're right.
So, and they're full. They're super full plant, And so it does have the columnar shape that you might associate with the Italian cypress, but not as slender.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit bigger than that.
It's going to be bigger than that. And it's also going to be a little bit better suited for growing where we live. Italian cypress can sometimes have some difficulty growing here where we live. These are a very, very excellent privacy screen. And also, like for me, where we're going to plant it, it's going to act as a windbreak, which the wind predominantly travels through where that fence is.
Yeah, it does, through the backyard, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so if we have this conifer there, it'll help absorb the wind and protect the apple tree and the plum tree that we planted, which I think is pretty cool.
Look at that.
You could take these trees and you can hedge them. You could actually trim them into a beautiful hedge. And a lot of people use them as a topiary because they can be pruned and grow into beautiful shapes of a wide variety. And you can also use these trees if you happen to need a vertical accent. You could position them symmetrically so that they will provide vertical interest in your yard, or you could use it as one type of a specimen tree, which I think is kind of pretty too sometimes. If you're kind of out in the open, I think a one specimen tree would look really pretty. You could walk all the way around it.
Hey, I'm excited that they grow fast. That's my thing.
They grow fast.
You know me.
That's what I understand.
Zero patience. I want these things up and at them.
But the funny part is we did look at all the offerings, and they had a wide variety of sizes that you could buy. And after we took a good hard look, Jeff said, well, I think I could go with the smaller one.
Okay, so it's a double-edged sword. I like
the double-edged sword. But it's hard to carry it around. It's hard to get it there.
The bigger ones are harder to, you got to get them home, and then you got to figure out how you're going to get them in your press in the soil. So while I do, I do like the bigger ones.
It has a caveat.
Yes. I'm always, I like these. If this is going to be great because it's a decent size already.
It is.
And
yes, it is.
It's probably already 5 feet, maybe 4 or 5 feet.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And then if it grows to, that's awesome. Let's do it.
I know.
Let's get a whole bunch of them.
Okay, let's do it.
Line them up on the side there.
I do think we might get more than one. I think they'd be really pretty I
think they would.
Like a symmetrical planting.
I like it.
Very pretty. These trees are low maintenance, and that's one of their big drawing features. They are drought tolerant, and I've noticed a lot of places said they're deer resistant. But we got ours from the nursery that this was provided by. Says it was Greenleaf Nursery. It says it's deer tolerant.
Deer tolerant.
Deer tolerant. That's because if they're stressed enough for water and food, they'll probably munch on just about anything.
True.
But it shouldn't be harmed by the deer. It will grow back, I think that's the same way with our Arizona cypress that we have planted that grows well. Anyways, the Brodie Juniper likes full sun. It's going to be the most full and most robust planting if it has full sun, aeration. It likes to have a nice bit of air. The most important thing that you need to keep in mind when planting these junipers is the well-drained soil. That's above anything else. It could grow in such a wide variety of soils, but it is especially suited for growing on rocks.
That's interesting.
Howard Garrett, in his book, Texas Gardening the Natural Way, states that this variety of tree is easy to grow in any soil, even solid rock, if the drainage is positive. So I thought that was pretty good for our area. The Brodie Juniper is going to produce a gray-blue berry in the winter, I believe. And so that is super attractive to songbirds. If you're looking for a way to bring more birds into your yard, especially the cedar waxwing loves those berries. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we definitely have those.
We have seen a cedar waxwing
we have seen
before. They came in to have a nibble on our Burford hollies in the front yard. Yeah. It can grow 20 to 30 feet tall, and that would be ideal conditions. Some list it as tall as 45 feet.
Wow.
But in our conditions, it probably would not get that tall, mainly because of the wind, I think, here, and also the stressor of the soil that it's growing on, It can become 6 to 8 feet in width over time. So that is a
big tree.
Good size tree.
I like it.
It's very disease resistant. A lot of junipers can have problems, but the disease resistance is if you're thoughtful about the water. So right when we first plant it, we're going to have to be careful about water. Probably for the first year, we'll have to give it a little extra water because it's new. But thereafter, it could grow anywhere your other trees could grow, like with only having one watering a week or not that much water, It's hardy. It can grow zones 4 to 9 is what I read in a lot of articles. The tag that we got with our Brodie Juniper says that it will grow in zone 6. At the coldest, that is like negative 10 degrees in the winter, which would be negative 23.3 Celsius.
Okay.
So that's pretty cold.
That's pretty cold.
Yeah. And junipers are tough. They like to grow in a little drier conditions. So if you're wondering what you could plant that would complement it, you want to think about those conditions. Our catmint that we have growing in the backyard, also known as nepeta, would do so well under the juniper
that would be cool.
It grows in that it flourishes in that same type of environment.
Ooh, that would be nice looking, yeah.
Ornamental grasses would be very beautiful next to it. One thing that I'm interested in planting is echinacea. I think it would do very well in that area, and I do love those beautiful flowers that come on the echinacea. Also, zinnias. We're lucky. I love zinnias, and they grow well. So, and probably now that I'm thinking about it, I bet the Thai basil would grow quite well in that situation. We have it growing in some really tough parts of the yard.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're willing to just keep an eye on your watering, I think the Brodie Juniper is an excellent choice.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it. We'll definitely, I think, where I know where you're going to put it, we should definitely put more than one over there, and I think it'll look nice.
I think it would look so nice.
It'll kind of clean up that area a little bit, I think.
So I wanted to mention that Texas AgriLife Extension Service has a publication called Earthkind Plant Selection. And while the Brodie Juniper is not specifically mentioned by name in here, junipers as a class of tree is one of the selections for their Earthkind plantings.
Nice.
And you could find that online under Earthkind by Texas
Very
AgriLife.
nice. Very nice. I'm looking forward to after, of course, nothing happens till after the big weather event. And then we can talk about the outside. That's ridiculous.
Well, you and I are not digging down. We've had a pretty good success with the one tree where we built up.
We have.
by the way,
that little
provides
system,
good drainage. That's a good way to provide great drainage.
I like it. Is that what you're thinking? The little system like that?
I'm definitely
liking it.
that.
I'm liking that. I can't remember what it was called, but it's working really well.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, Jeffy, I am so filled with curiosity about what we might find in.
Well, Mary, welcome to Jeff's Corner.
Jeff's Corner.
You know, I'm a tech guy.
No, I never knew that about you.
I am a tech guy. I like my technology. So one thing I wanted to do this year, I wanted to kind of do a little G2 research on some of the technology in gardening.
Oh, hey, I love that subject.
I came across this. And I came across this new technology tool that is it was invented by the inventor of the Roomba.
Oh,
you know, the robot vacuum.
Yes.
It's called the Tertill, and it's Tertill, so Tertill.
Oh. And
it's supposed to be a way to weed your garden.
What? So
it looked it looks, you know what? It looks interesting, like for a first shot at stuff. It's about the same size as like the home the home robotic vacuums. And what it does is it has these specially designed wheels that actually goes in and scrubs all the soil. And so its main purpose is to prevent the weeds from actually even germinating.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it'll kind of create a path in your garden. It is solar powered.
Oh.
You can use it in bare soil, compost, bark mulch, some dirt with like small rocks. You can't use it in grass, straw, like the big chunky bark mulch or like bigger rocks. But I was like, oh, okay. Because, nobody likes to weed. Yeah. So it sounded pretty cool until I got to this part, which it could work for a lot of people. I think we would struggle with it. So the plants or the rows that you have where it's going through, they have to be spaced at least 12 inches apart.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, it's going to be like the robotic vacuums where it's going to, see something and turn. So it needs about 12-inch spacing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have like a 4-inch barrier somewhere so it knows where to stop.
Oh.
Which I'm assuming like we have a barrier up on ours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would stop or not. It does up to 200 square feet on the charge. And the area has to be relatively flat and smooth. So there's a lot of requirement, but it's a cool start.
Yes,
to an idea.
Very interesting.
And if you had a garden area, to be honest, if you had like a really, really big raised bed,
mm-hmm.
it might do really well. I think I don't think it, for our case it would work,
mm-hmm.
but it's cool, hey, it's something that's out there.
If someone had raised beds and they had the pathways between the raised beds, I could see it really working in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Would help you keep the plants in check going up and down the pathways.
Yeah, I think it would. I think there are definitely places where it would work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it retails, it's really, really new. I think they retail for about $350 or so. I'm not even sure where at this point you would get it. Right. There's some information out there and there's some press on it. I think it's really, really new.
I bet it has application in agriculture. I bet a lot of agricultural people are looking at it,
It would. I think though, the fact that it only covers about 200 square feet, I think they're going to have to, like I said, I think it's a good first step. That like a proof of concept that said, okay, we can do this. And, it looked, obviously I like it because it's technology, but it's cool. But then I was looking at the requirements and I was like, oh man, I don't think that wouldn't work for us. But it's out there. And that's what I kind of wanted to do this year is maybe there's a lot of new technology in gardening. Not all good.
I love that.
It's just kind of things that are out there. We know that there's apps for all kinds of stuff, and there's ways to monitor, soil, health and stuff through apps. So anyway, we'll go through those this year in Jeff's Corner as we move through our podcasting year. But the Tertill, Tertill.
Nice.
Is out there if you want to give it a look. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing to look at and just kind of see where things are headed. But pretty cool. And the fact that he created the Roomba is pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
So there you have it. The Tertill.
Thank you. I mean, that is pretty that's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
New things to think about and learn about.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of tech out there. They're trying. People are trying. So that's
good.
What
I'm glad that I'm glad.
Some I think some are going to be hits, some are misses, but it's good to know it's out there. And like I said, this to me is more of a proof of concept, and I'm sure it will get better as time goes on. I
mean, I'm so happy that people are investing in the art of gardening. And that's part of what keeps it alive too, is new ideas, fresh approaches. So I congratulate you.
There you have it, Mary.
I look forward to what other discoveries you find.
Yeah. I think there's some pretty cool stuff out there. We'll talk about.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do it. I like it.
Well, what do you have on your agenda?
Yeah, my second topic of the day is I read an article in the Texas Gardener magazine, and this is from the November-December 2025 issue. And the title of it is Ball Moss, So Misunderstood. And it was written by Kevin Ong, PhD. He's connected with Texas A&M in College Station. So our live oak trees, all of our lives, we've known about the ball moss. It's just a very common plant that when you go hiking or anything like that, you're liable to find them scattered across the ground. They grow in live oak trees. They could actually grow in other southern trees as well. And they actually have the ability to grow on telephone poles and fences and telephone wires.
Wow, didn't know that.
I know. But it is an interesting plant to talk about. It gets a bad rap, but that may not necessarily be correct. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this plant.
Set us straight on this, Mary.
Set you straight. I did. I looked up some other facts about it. Interesting. I was interested to learn a little more about it. The botanical name is Tillandsia recurvata, and it's actually a bromeliad. When we go to the grocery store, garden centers, florists, we all fall in love with the plants that are very colorful, that have the large strapping leaves. They come in reds and yellows and greens, and they're called bromeliads when we go and look them up. They're part of that family, and they're also part of the same family as a pineapple.
Wow.
Pineapples are actually bromeliads as well. I know. So what that means is that it is an epiphyte. It actually does not, it's like an air plant. So it doesn't root into the tree or the other substrate that it finds itself on. It does not pull any nutrition from where it is growing. It grows by its exposure to the air. And what it does is it generates all the nutrition that it needs for itself. The way it captures the minerals and things like that it needs, nitrogen and all the things that plants need, is it captures it through the dust that's blowing around. And the dust carries bacteria that helps to digest the minerals. And they live there in the ball moss. And so that's how it gets some of the nutrition. And another way is through photosynthesis from, it doesn't like a lot of sunlight, but whatever sunlight it does get, it photosynthesizes. And it also gathers water. And so that's pretty interesting because in our area, we, of course, have dew. We can have pretty heavy dew that falls, and it will gather that water into its leaves.
Oh, okay.
And so it, like I said, it's not a parasitic plant. A lot of people think that it's very damaging because they feel like it takes the nutrition away from the live oak trees. But it theoretically, my understanding from what I've read is that it does not do that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So it loves to grow in shade and humidity. And it can grow on the lower limbs of the live oaks and really cluster towards the center of the tree so that it will get shade from the canopy, right? So that is a big clue. A lot of people feel that it breaks limbs off. And part of that could be true because it can become quite heavy. But usually what it's breaking off is the dead wood out of the tree. And so if you're seeing that your tree is heavily covered with the ball moss, it probably is showing you that there's an underlying cause. Your tree is suffering in some other way. Maybe it's not getting enough water. Maybe you ran the lawnmower across some of the roots and damaged the root system, or some other thing has damaged the root system. And also oak wilt can be a pretty big problem. And so, so if you see a heavily infested tree, you probably want to look around and see what's happening with the tree first before you blame the ball moss, right? And so as the ball moss ages, after it gets to be about 3 years old, it will produce seeds, and they are carried along through the wind. And wherever there's a horizontal surface, it will, like the telephone wires even, mostly. And this is according to the Texas A&M Forest Service bulletin that I read on ball moss. They state removal of ball moss is rarely necessary and often discouraged. Part of the reason is that if people go out, you want to get some information before you just go willy-nilly and try to remove it. Because as you strip away the ball moss, you could strip away the protective bark off of your live oaks and thereby exposing them to oak wilt. So before you run out there and start, doing that, find out what's happening. But the ball moss does provide benefits in our native habitat, which is pretty exciting. It can be a place for insects to house themselves. And it can also support your songbird population and other little critters that are looking for places to nestle or food to eat.
That makes sense, yeah.
And so I just thought that I just captivated my interest. So we love to travel. Sometimes we travel to Florida, and we always stay at in Louisiana. Where do we stay?
We usually stay on the LSU campus.
The LSU campus at the Cook Hotel.
Cook Hotel on the LSU campus, yep.
Anyways, we always love to walk out to dinner to go get pizza or whatever, and we walk under the live oak trees there, and they have the very long Spanish moss. And so our ball moss here in Central Texas is related to the Spanish moss as well.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Cool, right?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. It's a good point about because of the way it gets its nutrients. Number one, it's probably not harming the tree. And number two, it may be a signal something else is going on.
And it can also be a benefit, because it will draw in.
And it could be protection, as you said, too.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool.
But I thought I would just bring up why it may not be a bad culprit after all.
I like it. I think the key is don't just go and willy-nilly pull them down. Make sure you kind of understand what's going on there before you do that.
That's correct.
All right. I like it.
Pretty interesting that we go to the garden centers and we buy air plants. Mm-hmm. Well, that is basically the same thing as the ball moss. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Very
Jeffrey,
good.
This has been really fun.
Very cool. What else? You got anything else?
No. I'm just excited about our upcoming weather.
I know. We're ridiculous. Wowzer. Hey, I did want to let everybody know Mary made her first video and put it out on YouTube. And I will put the link to the where the videos are going to be on YouTube in the show notes. So if you guys want to go and take a look at those, you can. So we have video number one. She made herself a deadline and she did it and got that done. And so,
well, if you do happen to go check out the video, you will get to see Jeff's new garden tool, the long handle.
Shears. There you go. Yeah. You got me a little bit in there.
Super.
But yeah, so we will start putting videos out there at that location. But I will put the link in the show notes that'll get you to the YouTube channel for you to check all that out. So appreciate you guys giving that a look.
We do appreciate you very much.
We do. It's been a lot of fun, and looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to all the technology stuff I'm going to start looking at. It's going to be kind of cool.
I want to see what we come up with.
Yeah. Hey, if you're in Central Texas, make sure you stay warm this weekend.
Oh, boy.
Get your plants in.
Get your
plants in. Get your pets in. Get ready to hunker down for the weekend. All right, that's all we have here. Appreciate you guys joining us.
And happy gardening. Buy your warm, cozy, wrapped up cup of hot tea or something this weekend.
There you go. Well, we'll see you next week here at Mary Bird's Backyard Garden. Bye.